Hello everyone, Uxal is speaking, working on support build in World vs World. Well, one which can solo. So, Well of Precognition, Runes of Durability for boon duration, Celestial Armor because I'm cheap, this works both on Condi and Power, and everything is still on the table. Sigil of Energy, and well, Ruthlessness for boons, but not sure about them. And everything else is Berserker, because yeah, power build. Inspiration with my standard spread, though if I was in some kind of melee stack, I would change the Phantasmal Defender to Illusionary Inspiration. Chaos for boon duration minor, and Chaotic Interruption, which you will see in a moment. And Chronomancer has Alacrity Focus, and Quickness on Shatter, which works perfectly with boon duration. Food, very important boon duration. Let us look at some fights then. First thing, Well of Precognition. The current situation, we are 3, they are more, we have managed to cannon one down and they want to res him. We want to keep our tower ours. Opening with Continuous Shift Gravity Well. Continuous Shift is a shatter, so I get quickness. Every interrupt gives me 10 mites. 5 from Sigil, 5 from Trait. 2 enemies interrupted, 20 mites. Between many mites and a lot of quickness, we are able to down them. Time to stomp. Safe stomp, Well of Precognition. We are completely invulnerable and they cannot stop the stomping at all. Also, I had quickness during stomping all the time. Means it is a quickness stomp. So that is generally an idea of this build. Give us a way to stomp and give us some sustain. Okay, so usually who attacks first has an advantage. Thanks to Well of Precognition, I can move forward to take all the fire on myself, to absorb the nukes, and to safely use Gravity Well. One clone Continuous Shift Shatter, cast Gravity Well and Well of Precognition under Quickness. Note I'm invulnerable. After Cont Shift, another Gravity Well and Well of Precognition, and Safe Stomp with Quickness. This time I'm not slowing it down, so you can see how fast I can stomp with Quickness. What happened here? 2 Wells of Precognition gave me 6 seconds of continuous invulnerability. Thanks to Inspiration Minor, this was shared to my friends. In this time, we were hitting them with everything we had. They started to get down and disorganized. Then we split. This stomp is without quickness. See the difference? And I can activate quickness at every shatter. To make this trait work, you need some boon duration though. I have about 50% between the runes, the food and the trait from Chaos. After downing an elementalist, I'm using Well of Precognition to be able to safe stomp. So at this point, this fight is over. Let us now evaluate the solo of this build. How can it fight alone? So 1 versus 3. Tanky Scrapper, Tanky Dragon Hunter and a Glassy Elementalist. This fight also shows why I am not playing Volatile Vision anymore. I approach this fight very carefully, with some might accumulation and quickness, you know. Only the Elementalist is ranged, which gives a Staff Chronomancer a major advantage. To test their defenses, I have activated Twin Gravity Well and Blood Frenzy with F1 Shatter. You know, my type of burst. And this managed to down an Elementalist. I'm quite tanky. I took some hits, waited for Elementalist to leave Mist form and stomped him with quickness. The others had no chance to do anything. Elementalist mist formed behind the camera, behind the view. If they didn't see an Elementalist, quickness stomp is simply faster than human reactions. And this is the reason why I'm not playing Volatile Vision anymore. In the past we had a very bursty meta. Everyone went into bunker, so roamers had to burst. Otherwise they will never down the opponents. But now it is worth it for me to drop Scholar Runes, load some Survival, to simply not die in a stray trap or in a single Gravity Well combo. I can play a full Berserker mesmer, but you can load too much sustain on the builds without really losing the damage. So even if I can play it, it is not efficient for me to do so. This build compensates lack of burst damage from Scholar Runes with almost permanent quickness and 1 million of mites. Chaos Line gives me protection and regeneration. And more blinks and mirror and everything, you know. My burst damage is much lower, but the teeth are still there. What I gain is quickness stomping, safe stomping, and less being downed. If I had Scholar Berserker Armor and Domination line, he would be downed. But if I did, I wouldn't get to this point. So I am not an artillery anymore, I'm a bruiser. Like a Celestial Elementalist. The Scrapper is getting him up, but I'm lucky with Chaos Storm. Interrupt, interrupt, and I managed to stomp. Don't get me wrong, this was not my skill, that was pure dumb luck. but the build you are watching is not really designed to 1 versus 3. It is a party build which is simply able to solo. Okay, so the fight with the Scrapper was 2 minutes longer. I have managed to kill him, but my build has an advantage against him. So let us recap in another party fight. On my side, Bursty Daredevil and a Druid. They start with a Dragon Hunter and a Herald, but then 5 more come. By the way, note what a Bursty Daredevil can do to a Dragon Hunter. I didn't even manage to turn the camera, and he was downed. I didn't expect more to come. Well, we cattered inside it without opposition after all, so I wasted Gravity Well here. And not a very pleasant surprise when more appeared. I made myself a target and used Gravity Well to lure them together, pull and kill someone. You know, the combo. Then Well of Precognition for a safe stomp. Here, the role of a Druid is important. Druid not only heals, he also dazes a lot. Well, and deals damage. After a blink I've got a Mirror, which covers my heals from something like Longbow push. Ah, here. We focused on the Glass Ranger. Once again, it's the meta shift. Unless you have a million of active defenses, you shouldn't go Glass anymore. They have focused fire our Druid, which means we are not really preferred at all in this fight. And they, as a group, got broken. This would conclude the flashy part of this video. Well, Weaver, how I call this build. Or rather, how I call what will happen when I finish this build. A boon duration based chronomancer with some damage. So, able to solo. Things to consider. Sigils. Maybe Twin Sigil of Concentration. Maybe Sword, Shield, Sword, Torch. Maybe Domination, Inspiration, Chronomancy for Signet Distortion sharing. Maybe Condition build. Would have perfect synergy with Chaos, Boon Duration and Condi Duration trait. Then maybe Scepter and Illusion line for even more time warps. A lot to test, definitely. Thank you very much for watching. Exalis out.